Summer of 2016, I think I was 17 at the time, and I'm going into my senior year of high school. Right after I had that experience of quieting my mind, I experienced like 2 months of complete bliss, like just complete, absolute like bliss. And that bliss turned more into peace as I got used to it, sort of. During the summer, right, when I was experiencing all this bliss, a part of me got worried. It was like, bro, like I could do this in the summer, but what happens when I go back to school? And I've always had a terrible experience with school, with dealing with people, like homework, like all this classes, like I'm like, damn, like I was kind of scared. I was like, how am I going to be able to do this in school? Like, is this gonna work? So I went into my senior year of school, and during the first day, like before I went to class, I made a commitment. I'm gonna be fully present this year. I don't care what happens. I remember like thinking, how am I gonna do homework and tests if I'm not thinking anymore? If I'm not using my analytical mind, how am I going to pass tests, math tests, psychology tests, Spanish tests, history tests? Like, how am I going to pass these tests if I'm not thinking? Fast forward, I had the best year of my life in every way, even academically, but socially, like just I had the best school year of my life. It was like insane. I had 11 years of just terrible experiences with school. And my senior year made everything so worth it because I became like superhuman that year. And it was like everything was just working out. Even dealing with people was like insane. Like my whole experience changed. People who didn't even like me started to like me. Like everyone, like my whole relationship with everyone started changing. I could do no wrong. I was just thriving in every way. And I became more of the person who I wanted to be rather than this person who struggled in every way. I just remember my first test. I remember staring at this piece of paper with all these test questions on it. And I remember staring at it and completely quieting my mind and taking that test without thinking, without using my mind as a calculation tool, without using my mind as a thinking tool. I completely took this test, just stared at it with 1,000% of my attention, quieted my mind, and just started to just write and just started to flow. That year, like, I had the best year academically ever without even trying, with just quieting my mind on everything. And I was so shocked. That changed my life forever. And then socially, I used to struggle socially so bad up until the point where I realized, okay, I'm gonna stop thinking about every word I say. I'm gonna completely quiet my mind in every social interaction. I'm never gonna think before I speak ever again. I'm just going to quiet my mind, and whatever flows, flows. And I had the best year socially ever. And I feel like I've been thriving socially ever since. Like, like just communicating like ever since. And high intensity situations like sports, MMA, or some type of business situation, or like dealing with customers or whatever, no matter what it was, I would just deeply quiet my mind.